Hello and welcome to the film review of Bhairava Geetha. Now, Siddhartha Shankar is a very young chap. The way that he has directed the movie is commendable. But the movie that he has directed is definitely not going to work. I'll say the direction is okay because the way that scenes have been executed, the way that the camera has been used, the way that the characters have been made to behave. Yes, the director's job is done well. But the problem is not in the director or the actors being Irra and Dhananjaya. The problem is not in them. I'm not even going to talk about it. The problem lies in the story itself. It was touted as a love story. This is what the tagline also reads, a love story. It's not a love story at all. Far from it. In fact, if I was given a choice of branding this movie, I would say this movie is a bluff. It's Ram Gopal Varma's way of telling us, I can give anything to you and you will watch it. There is nothing new in this movie. Let's imagine two rival factions in one village. One of the factions has a son, the other faction has a daughter. The daughter obviously is city educated. The son obviously, since he's supposed to be the guy who will take over the business, from childhood he has been reared up with violence. So we have a very bad guy and a very educated girl being asked to marry, so that the two factions can come together and live peacefully. So she doesn't want to get married to a two-timing guy who is almost like the baddest guy around that is possible to be made a match for her. So what does she do? Does she find a doctor, a nuclear scientist, a police officer, a politician, a teacher? No. She says, I'm not going to marry someone who is a criminal, so I'm going to fall in love with somebody who is a criminal. The only difference is that criminal is rich and powerful. This criminal is just a henchman. Tell me something, if a girl has to marry a criminal, will she marry a criminal with billions of rupees? Or will she marry a guy who's a pauper? Will she marry a guy who will at least give her enough money to fly off to Paris and London once in a while and lead her life peacefully, or marry a guy who would never even be able to get her a ticket to Coimbatore? But that's Ram Gopal Varma logic. Movie doesn't need logic, but this is a real story. That's what Ram Gopal Varma says. And if you ask where this real story has happened, we can't reveal it. It will be a problem for a lot of people. Yes, it's a problem for you because it's a movie. No real people behave this way. Again, the kind of violence that is shown in the movie, over the top. The kind of romance that is shown in the movie is again over the top. I don't know, it's somewhere between love and lust, or is it somewhere between lust and more lust? I don't know. Where is the logic in the romance? Who are you rooting for? Are you rooting for a criminal who kills for no reason and then falls in love and becomes a good guy all overnight? Or are you rooting for a girl who doesn't want to marry a criminal but wants to marry a criminal? Do you root for a father who wants peace in the village by selling off his daughter to another criminal? Or do you look for a criminal who wants to get married to a nice girl and still be a criminal? Who do you root for? That is the problem with Bhairava Geetha. You don't root for anyone. My formula for movie making is very simple. Create a movie where I or the audience roots for at least one person. Everybody in this movie is dislikable. There's not a single redeeming character in this whole movie. How can this work? But Ram Gopal Varma's movies have worked in the past. This, however, is not one of them. My total points out of 5, yes, that's it. A total points out of 5. I don't give it even a single star. That's it. 0. That's how much I disliked Bhairava Geetha. And I'm sure if you go out to watch this movie, you'll dislike it as well. Don't. It's a waste of time. Unless you're a hardcore RGB fan who can tolerate any BS that he throws your way, don't watch this movie. Stay away. But don't stay away from our channel. I'll be right back after a very short break, and then I'll talk to you about a movie that I've actually